Experience gorgeous, lasting, high-quality hair color with Madison Reed. Find your perfect shade at madison-reed.com and get 10% off plus free shipping on your first color kit. Use code RADIO10.
The simple life of a farmer. All you need is land, family, sunshine, and rain. And a drone for digital imaging. And software to run geospatial analysis. And an understanding of genetics, biology, climatology, economics, global trading, and estate planning. So you can pass this so-called simple life on to your kids. At Pioneer, we're proud to work with generations of American farmers in the most complex and rewarding industry on earth. So from your friends at Pioneer, thank you, farmers.
Hello, and welcome to jasonnewland.com. My name's Jason Newland, and this is Let Me Bore You to Sleep. Please only listen when you can safely close your eyes. Hello, it's my party, and I'll cry if I want to, cry if I want to, cry if I want to. You would cry too if you were 51. Happy birthday to me, yes, 51 today. Thursday the 26th of August 2021. So I'd like to thank those of you that have sent me messages. Now, normally, if I post anything about, like, you know, on Facebook, happy birthday to me, I'll get like not, I was going to say an onslaught, but like continuous messages, like happy birthday messages on Facebook, like all day long. So many, in fact, it's like practically impossible to reply. But I didn't do that this year. Haven't posted anything on Facebook. So the only people that have really I have still had messages and stuff. So the only people that have sent me messages have been people that kind of follow me, or I guess listen to my podcasts and stuff. So, although it's really nice, it just shows what a tiny percentage of Facebook people actually listen to my podcasts. Because I can never figure it out. Like, you know, I think I've got 4,000 Facebook friends, and was it 29,000 on one of my pages as well. But I don't think there's that many actually listen to my podcasts off of Facebook. I might be wrong. There's no way of knowing. I mean, genuinely, I can see how many people visit my website from Facebook because of the links. I don't mean the deodorant or the cat. But I don't know from the podcasts where people are coming from. I can see where people are listening as far as the different podcast directories or the apps. And I discovered something. You know, the other day, I'm going to say a few thank yous to people, so bear with me a couple of seconds. I mentioned that when I had those 7 days where I didn't make any recordings, I actually still had like good stats, considering I didn't do anything for 7 days. I was still getting sometimes up to 5,000 downloads a day, which normally would go down to like about 3,000, sometimes a little bit less. But I couldn't figure out why. I discovered today that actually I'm now on Amazon.com. I'm on Amazon.com, like Amazon Music, and I think Audible as well. So it was like, wow, because Audible is owned by Amazon. So I was like, wow, because every now and then I just Google myself to see, because I started doing transcriptions and putting them onto the podcasts with the hope that might reach a bigger audience. It was an experiment, and I'm still not sure if it worked, but I'm going to continue doing it anyway. So I transcribe using an app called, blimey, what's it called? Otter.ai. But what I do is I don't edit it, just simply because it would just there's no time to do that. It would take absolutely forever, although I might in the future, but at the moment, because I've got over 1,000 to do, and it took me just to do it, just to put them on there, to do about 150 took me about 2 weeks. It's very time consuming, because I also added it to the YouTube channel as well. But the thing is, I do all these different things, and I'm kind of trying to share stuff and do these things, and I'm not that organised. I'm not particularly organised. Sometimes I'll just, maybe I'll go and do something else that I need to do, and I'll come back and I'll forget what number I was at, and I ended up redoing the whole thing, so I lost track of where I was. I realise this probably means nothing to anyone, because I haven't really described or explained myself very well, have I? No! Well, anyway, back to my birthday. I woke up early this morning, and I cancelled seeing my dad, because I didn't feel very well, really. I was, a couple of times, 2 nights in a row, I had coughing fits, like proper, quite unpleasant actually, and I was sneezing last night as well. And I just, I'm sure it's nothing, but I don't want to sort of give anything to my dad. He's an elderly man now. He's, 67 or something. He's 25 years older than me, so I'm 94, so whatever he is. And so I cancelled, but they were really annoyed at me. They were really annoyed. They were. I phoned them up, and when you can hear in a tone of voice like, they weren't actually growling, to be fair. Yeah, hello Jason, happy birthday. But you know what? It is what it is. It's birthdays aren't really, I'll be honest, it's not that exciting for me. Christmas again, I haven't celebrated Christmas, not really, not since, in my mind, the last time I celebrated Christmas was 2004, when I stayed at my nan's. Since then, I've been at my dad's and stuff, but it's just, even so, Christmas pretty much since I was a child hasn't been the same, because we used to have really, really good Christmases. The rest of the year was a bit rubbish, but at Christmas my dad is pretty much Santa Claus when it comes to Christmas. He is everything Christmas. He loves it. So, he always pulls all the stops out. But for me, it was better when I had my brothers and the family, it's just, and I don't have that anymore. So it's just a personal preference. We had really brilliant Christmases. And also I was a kid and I get lots of presents. Now, it's almost like as I get older, and I know it's probably quite childish to sort of talk this way, but I don't mind. I'm just being honest. I want lots of presents. I really do. I didn't get any presents for my birthday, but I would have done if my dad had come. Although that's not true, I did get a present. I did got 2 presents. My friend bought me some Cokes, and but Christmas, I think that's the benefit of having a family. Sort of having your own family, which I haven't done. Because then, think by now, I could have like great grandchildren by now. If I'd have started really young, had kids at 16 or 17, then they maybe had kids when they was 16 or 17. So what's that, 16, 30? Blimey. And then they had kids at 16. Yeah, there could be like 17 generations of me by now. All those presents. Great granddad, all those presents. Loads of presents. But I didn't go down that route. I didn't think about it before. It's a great way to get presents. Reproducing. But, it's terrible for the environment, and this planet really doesn't need more humans, obviously. But you get more presents. And that's what I think that's important. I know the environment and, world stability it's important, but me getting more presents, I think, eclipses all that. Global warming is way down on the list of priorities. Me getting more presents has got to be a higher priority, and I'm sure most people listening to this agree that me, not you, me getting more presents for birthdays and Christmases, Father's Day and stuff like that. I personally think that, I don't think for anyone else, but if I had kids and grandkids, they should even give me presents on Valentine's. Not in a weird way, just because I like presents. In fact, I'd probably go a little bit further than that. I'd say that on their birthdays, they should give me presents. Yeah, and also Father's Day, I should get presents from the grandkids as well. In fact, I think complete strangers should just give me presents every day. Have I gone too far? I don't know. I can never really gauge it. Got an itchy scalp. So, 51. I've read a few messages and I don't think I've read them out. I will read it. Someone told me off. So 51. Shut up. I'm 62. Stop moaning. It's brilliant. I love it. So 51. I did absolutely nothing today. In fact, what I did most of the time is sleep. So I didn't feel like during the actual day, I didn't feel necessarily ill. I just didn't feel particularly energetic, if you know what I mean. I didn't feel, it's not that I was like, I just felt a little bit bleh, bleh. And I think that might be due to, it's just not enjoyable. It's not. I mean, really, I should have spent all day opening presents. I can't really move on from that, can I? Maybe it's because I was spoiled. Because when I was little, are you going to talk about the children's home again? Orphan Jason. Oh, yeah, that's a bit rude. When I was in the children's home, I didn't get anything. We didn't get presents, and we might have got a present from the Christmas tree, but we didn't have, there was no parents, there was no family or anything. So, although two of my brothers actually lived with me, but, kids don't, 6-year-olds don't actually buy the presents for their brothers, do they? They're not, they're not, I'll get a sentence out in a minute. I mean, kids aren't allowed to work in chimneys, are they, anymore? Not allowed to clean chimneys. How are they supposed to make money? Huh? So, when I went and lived with my dad when I was 7, suddenly, Christmases, we had these huge big sacks full of Christmas presents. Loads of presents. I mean, there was lots. It was, we had presents probably, from each other. So, my little brother was born a year later, or a year and a half later, or whatever. So, well, no, he was actually born a year later, yeah, actually. So, we'd get, when I was 9, 10, 11, whatever. So I'd get 3 presents from all 3 of my brothers, as I would buy them presents. Usually rubbish, but, it's still a present, isn't it? Maybe chocolate or something like that. But, rubbish. But, I mean, it was never going to be life-changing. But, a token to get plastic surgery, that would have been good. And then the parents, so I get presents from them, usually a few different ones, and then one big one. And then I get presents from my stepmom's mother. I get presents from my nan and granddad, which is my dad's parents. I get presents from, at that point, probably from my uncles and aunts as well. And I think even from a couple of friends of the family who we called aunts and uncles, but they weren't, but they were close friends of my parents. So, a lot of presents. And I guess it felt like more presents because never really had them before. I mean, that first Christmas, that must, I don't remember it, but it must have been the best Christmas ever of my life, But I wish I did remember it, because at that time, that was probably the happiest time in my childhood, because everyone got on. We were so happy to get out of the children's home. My dad seemed really happy to have us there. His new wife, who was our new mum, she seemed happy to have us as well. And we were happy to have a mother, because she was lovely. My dad was lovely. Everything was almost not fairy tale-y, because fairy tales have witches and dragons and all kinds of horrible stuff, don't they? Like a fairy tale wedding. well, someone's going to die, aren't they, in a fairy tale wedding? They're not nice, are they? Fairy tales, they're very vicious. I know, I do a podcast reading fairy tales, and all of them are horrible. They're not nice. They're violent and vile. It's really, witches trying to poison children and eating children, or wolves trying to impregnate grandmothers. And, it's like, that's just wrong, man. It's wrong. So, I don't remember, though. I don't remember that time. I've got a vague memory, but I don't remember what it was like to have a big bag of presents for the first time in my life. And to just... how wonderful that was. And how happy we all were. But, if I could... I'd love to see pictures of it, or a video of what we were like, or what I'm more interested. To be fair, it's weird, and I know it's probably not something you should admit. But whenever I see, like my nan used to have lots of photographs. Whenever she found pictures. In fact, she had all these big boxes of photographs, and all I wanted to see was myself. I just want to see pictures of me. Is that wrong? Just because I forget what I looked like. I forget because I don't look the same as I did when I was a kid. My little brother does. He's got the same face. He's got the same face. His head was always the same size. His mum never forgave him. No, he's got the same face. It's not a criticism. He's a handsome man, but he's kind of got the same face. I don't. I look different to how I did when I was, 5 or 6 years old. He kind of looks the same. It's true. So, if you met him if you went to school with him when you were like 6, and you met him now at age 45 or whatever he is, you like say, "Oh, Herbert, it's you. And he's saying, "Well, my name's not Herbert," but you get what I mean. It's like you'd recognise him. In fact, I think the midwife who helped with the birth would recognise him now. It's that head. He just looks the same. Anyway, I need to read these messages out before people fall asleep, because we're 22 minutes in. I was going to read them at the beginning. This is technically the beginning, but so I'm going to read out the messages that I've had, okay? There's not many. Okay, here we go. Rachel, happy birthday, Uncle JJ. Thank you, Rachel. Gary says, happy birthday, Jason. I wish you all the best for your special day. May it be a wonderful day. GBU. Gary. What does GBU mean? I don't know. What does GBU mean? Go bugger yourself? I don't know. I don't know what it means. Juicy says, hi Jason, wish you a happy birthday and I hope you'll have a great day. Thank you. It's very kind of you. Molly says, Happy birthday, Jason. Thanks, Molly. So some of these people that sent messages also sent a message on a Facebook page that they've created, which is kind of like I don't know. I don't know why I don't like to use the word fan, but it's kind of like a fan page kind of thing. It's a private page. You can ask to join, but Michelle says, "Dear Jason, happy birthday. Hope you enjoyed your day. Whilst listening to your stats last night on number 710, Bore You to Sleep, I realised stats spelled backwards is stats. You know what? I never realised that. It's true, isn't it? What's the other word backwards that spells the same? Dog. No, not dog. There is another word, isn't it, that it sounds exactly the same, that's spelt the same, forward and backward. And I can't think, it's a really, really obvious word. Bread? That's it, yeah. So, it's what it says. So Michelle says, I thought I'd share that little nugget with you, that little boring little nugget of wisdom to share with you. Thank you. Keep up the good work. I love listening to all your podcasts, even though I giggle a lot at story time and get no sleep. Oh, and when you say story time, is it the bedtime story time one you're talking about? Because yeah, they are. It's a little bit silly, isn't it, that one? I sometimes strain my throat a little bit with some of those voices. Belinda says, okay, I got 2 messages from Belinda. This is the one I was talking about earlier. This is Tuesday's that message saying, Jason, I wish I was 51. I'm 61 now and it feels no different. Stop stressing. And then today, happy birthday, Jason. Thank you very much. So that's the messages on Facebook. I had a message on my website somewhere. Ooh. Where is it? Mary says, happy birthday, Jason, all the best. Thank you, Mary. And I also got a Juicy sent me you know what, because Juicy sent me a PayPal gift. Thank you, Juicy. I get so confused. It's not really, but Kissy and Juicy, I think they're both kind of spelt pretty much the same. Let me have a look. I might test this once and for all. It's not. It's the same person. So it's Juicy. But there's someone called Kissy, and it's quite similar spelling. So sometimes I say the wrong spelling. It happens. I don't mean it to happen. I'm sorry. Ever so sorry. Please forgive me. I didn't mean it. So that's that. I'm just seeing if there's any others. Is there any others? Okay. I got a message the other day from Team Guestio. Hello there. I'm Joanna, Guest Relations Manager at Guestio.com. I know your time is valuable, so I'll be quick. No, my time's not valuable. Would you be open to list deep sleep whisper hypnosis to allow amazing guests to reach out and book appearances, free and paid, on your show at no cost to you? If so, could I share details with you on how your show could benefit from it? No pressure, but I'd love to share more specifics. Joanna. Cheers. Tingestio. So yeah, I'm not sure what that was about. So on Facebook, it's gotta be other stuff. Notifications, 3 notifications. Okay, here we go. So on this page, it's called Jason Newland Hypnosis Group. It's a private group. It's 42 members, and did I start it myself? I don't really remember. Honestly, I don't remember, but group by Jason Newland Hypnosis. It's almost like I must have done, but I don't remember starting that group. But I had some messages anyway. So Boston Chicky, happy birthday. Thank you, Boston. Vanessa Patterson, I don't normally say this surname, sorry. Vanessa Montague says, happy level up day to the boringest man I know. Thanks for always putting us to sleep. We love you and we hope that you have a fantastic day. A fantastic or fantastic. Much love sent from your Canadian fans, Vanessa and Kevin. Thank you. Aww. And so I have answered all of these messages. And next I got Molly says, happy birthday to the man, the myth, the legend, Jason Newland. Thank you. And then there's some other messages on there. So Leslie says happy birthday. Thank you, Leslie. Debbie says happy birthday, Jason. Enjoy your special day. Thank you, Debbie. Heidi says happy birthday, Jason. Thank you, Heidi. And Juicy again, happy birthday. Enjoy your day. Thank you. Leslie says have a good day, Jason. Thank you. Thank you very much. And Rachel has posted happy birthday to the best 51-year-old I know. You don't know many 51-year-olds, do you? If I'm the best, you can't know many. Thank you very much, Rachel. And there's comments. What is it? Susan says happy birthday, Jason. Thank you. Okay, wait a minute. Susan, Susen. I've never seen Susan spelt with an en before. It's always an, in my experience. Susen. Oh, that's cool. And Ben says happy birthday to the main man, Jason Newland himself. Nearly 60, you bastard. Nearly 60? Not nearly 60. This is my friend. Yeah? Friend? Calling me 60? You're my biggest enemy right now. Have a great day, it says. I'll be listening tonight once again there's a new boy to sleep to try. Much love, me and the wife. Thanks, Ben, and thanks, wife. So that's great. So that's nearly 60. You know what? I've never been so angry. Never. Oh. So yeah. I think that's kind of all the messages. Now, oh, wait a minute. I got another. Oh. Okay. I lose track because notifications. No, that's not the one. Jason and hypnotist. Continue. What the hell? Oh, go away. So I can't find any more. If I do it on my... Okay. If I do it on my iPad, I should be able to get it up. Because I was looking on my phone, but it doesn't always allow me to see everything. So I'll just go onto my other Facebook pages. So Let Me Bore You to Sleep page. Does anyone ever actually go on there? But I don't think so. Okay, yeah, a few people are still looking at the stuff, but not many at all. Notifications, anything? And Facebook notification. That's weird. Okay, so if I go back, let's have a look. Jason Newland, hypnotist. Newsfeed, inbox, 5 new comments. But they're probably ones I've already seen. Yep, they're ones I've already seen before. You know, sometimes in the past, I've come across stuff, like messages or comments that people have left, literally, sometimes months, sometimes even years ago, that were never shown, and suddenly they appear. I remember I contacted someone and I said, "Oh, thanks for your message 3 years ago." And she replied, she said, "Oh, don't worry, no worries. Who are you?" It's amazing the amount of people in the past that have actually contacted me to say, "Who are you?" Even people that have signed up for my newsletter, you know, my email list. I've had a few different email lists over the years. So I used to send out like a monthly newsletter. I'm probably going to do it again, but just haven't got around to it really. And someone said, "Who the hell are you? Why are you sending me this stuff?" And it was just an email newsletter just saying what I've been up to and the latest stuff. It wasn't anything, I wasn't trying to sell anything or anything like that. And like, well, I wasn't using people's emails randomly. They signed up to the email list themselves via my website. I wasn't doing spam or anything like that. I don't do spam. I am spam. Spam. I am a man. Yeah, so that's it. I don't think there's any other messages. I've covered all of them. It's done. It's done. Done. Let me see if there's anything on Twitter. Again, because I've not mentioned my birthday other than on a podcast. And that was it. Let's have a look. A couple of notifications. No. Nothing. Was it Thursday today, isn't it? Why is it, for some reason, it feels more like a Saturday, like a weekend? Maybe it's just that excitement about being 51. The excitement of it. Oh, yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. I do believe. Maybe not. So yeah, this is my 51st birthday. Slept a lot. And when I have been awake, I've been watching episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm. that I took the dog for a walk as well, my friend's dog. He said to me, I said, "Oh, can I take your dog for a walk?" He said, "What's going on with you? You got a girlfriend or something? Secret girlfriend you're meeting up with?" Because I've been taking a dog out every day for about a week. Oh no, since I don't know what day it was, but I mentioned now that hernia. So I've been taking his dog out because the dog's such a strong dog. I was worried that it was going to hurt him, like because he twists. The dog's like suddenly walks to the left, then to the right, and if you're trying to pick up his poo, he'll start running and try and pull you over. I don't think it's trying to pull you over, but that's the result. And so because my friend couldn't really move for a couple of days, I took the dog out a couple of times, like a couple of really long walks in the morning and the evening, and he could just go in the garden during the day if he needed to just do a wee-wee. A wee-wee. And I don't know, I think because I used to take Andre out for long walks at this time of the year, this was his favourite time, especially in the evening. While it was still light, although he didn't care if it was light or dark, because his eyesight was probably better in the dark than at night, than during the light, which doesn't really make sense. But he would actually refuse to come out. We would go into the field, and I'd try and sort of, let's say, go back now, and he would dig his heels in, and he'd have me drag him along because he didn't want to leave. And then he'd just keep me walking further and further into the field, and then he just collapse on the floor, exhausted. And he'd tap on my feet, and I'd pick him up, and I'd have to carry him all the way home because he was absolutely knackered, and he'd go to sleep. But he just didn't want to stop until he was completely, out of energy. But it meant that I was like 100 miles away from home. Not ideal at all. So there's something about the cool air, because we're nearly at the end of August now, and in the evenings, and it's not just August, like July, August time, this kind of time of the year, it might be nice during the day, it might be whatever, but it's generally, it's not cold usually, and it's not necessarily particularly warm. It's just quite cool. The evenings are nice. I know it's whether you like it or not is personal opinion. I can't just say, well, it's nice outside, and I do know that not everyone's going to agree with that, but I am right always in everything I say, so you need to learn that. I know, just for me, I'm not really into heat. I'm not really into like being hot or being cold. I'm quite a midway. I suppose, like politically, I'm quite liberal. I might not always sound it, but then I'm usually just joking around. If I can sound like a real hardcore right-wing person or a complete lefty. But I'm neither of those. I am more in the middle, because I can see different people's sides of it. I can see, and people have a tendency to tell me what they think and how they feel for some reason. I don't know why. And a lot of it, with politics, it's emotional. It's not even logical, it's emotional. And logic doesn't seem to really have much of a chance against emotion. Neither does arguments. There's no point arguing with someone that's got an emotional connection with an opinion or a belief system. It's pointless. So it's just like, okay. I like to make fun of people, but you still got to be careful, because you don't know how strong that belief system is. So, I still, obviously, like a friend said to me, coming over here, there's another 20,000 of them coming over here, blah, 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 in regard to recent developments nationally. And I just sort of said, okay, well, yeah, damn them for not wanting to just leave their children and to be whatever, and their wives to be whatever is being done. It's like, well, I'm not going to say the words, but if you think about it, like, wouldn't everybody want to escape and want the best for their family and for themselves as well? So I can see different sides because I'm not emotionally involved. I don't get emotionally involved in that stuff. And I think that's the only way you can really see, you're able to see different sides of the argument by not having emotions get in your way, and having a belief system, like a limited belief system. So I'm quite lucky, but in some ways, but I think in other ways, it seems that some people, when they've got these belief systems, they seem more content, because then they're around other people that have the same belief systems, and there's almost a community. Well, no, there is not almost. There is actually a community, whether it's religious or whether it's whatever, political. People build communities upon that, don't they? Upon these opinions and belief systems and superstitions and stuff. And I guess I don't have that, which is, and I'm glad on one level, because it means that I'm able to think for myself, but at the same time, I guess it would be nice to have that sense of, there's security, isn't there? Probably a sense of security that comes from it. I don't know. But yeah, I guess I am a liberal. I'm in the middle. I can see, and that's the thing. It seems like someone right wing and left wing, they seem to sometimes be stuck in their thinking, and to be almost contrary. They have to do the say or think the exact opposite to their enemies. The right wings and the left wings are like enemies of each other. Not all, obviously, but just the whole. I don't get it. To me, when I saw that in America with Trump, I'd never seen that before in my life. And I guess it's different with Facebook. You get to hear people's political opinions when, I probably learnt more about America since the internet than I ever did before. Because before it was just TV programs, TV shows, and of course everyone's selective, aren't they? It's all edited, even documentaries, all edited to show what they want to show, as far as, how it is there. But now, 24-hour news, 24-hour information, and you've also got 24-hour opinions on Twitter and Facebook and other places. And people are so hostile. Like, if you support this politician or this president, then I want nothing to do with you as a person. So people are really willing to give up on a family member that they've maybe known for 30, 40 years because they have a different political opinion opinion, a different political opinion to them. They really, imagine being that dumb. Imagine being that dumb that you'd actually give up friendship or love for someone because they supported a president that you don't like, or they don't support a president that you do like, whichever way it goes. When you remember, the president, it doesn't matter who the president is, they're never going to be in office for more than 8 years. That's the maximum they can be, isn't it? And that's it. So even if they are in for 8 years, you're going to give up like a lifetime of friendship for the sake of some person being in office for 8 years. See, we don't seem to have it quite as in England. Like our political parties and our Prime Minister is a joke. He's like a national joke. So he's a clown. People laugh at him. He's funny. He is a funny person. And he's not really taken seriously as a politician. So it's quite hard, I think, for people to get that level of hate towards him individually. I mean, a lot of people hate the Conservatives or the Tories, whatever you want to call them, for some reason. They've got a lot of and so a lot of people also have the same for the Labour Party. But I don't hear that much kind of real hatred towards the Prime Minister himself. They mock him and they don't respect him. A lot of people seem, based on what I hear on the radio and on TV and stuff, but they don't hate him, not the way that America sometimes seems to be with presidents. And it's not just the last president, it's even the one before that. The one before that, it always seems to be real conflict between people and their presidents. Those that love the president and those that, maybe that's what it is. I suppose if you love someone, then the opposite to that maybe is hate in their minds. Maybe. Because we don't love our politicians here. We know that they're out for themselves. Of course, all politicians are. We know that. Well, most are, not all, but most politicians at the high level, they've been born almost into it. They've been groomed to be politicians, a lot of them. It's almost as if their career span is been planned out when they were teenagers. Like, this is what you're going to do. You can do this. I mean, Boris Johnson is Prime Minister because of a plan that has been in action for the last probably quite a few years. The whole getting Theresa May in as Prime Minister because he backed out in the running so she could be Prime Minister and deal with all the hassle of Brexit. And then he comes in right at the end. He turns all the people against her so that no one, helps her to get it through. And then right at the end, he comes in and everyone backs him. And he gets Brexit through at the last hurdle and he's the hero. And all these people that were going against Theresa May all backed him, even though it was the same thing that they were voting on. Which is almost ridiculous, really. So she was made to be the fall guy. And she didn't seem to care. It's almost like she was playing her role. Or her sandwich. Her baguette. So I don't know, maybe she was. I like Theresa May, actually. I She's very down to earth, quite real. I quite liked her. I think she's probably the most underestimated Prime Minister, and the only reason why she had a hard time is because, first of all, Brexit, which just ruled. That was all everyone talked about until COVID appeared for years. And then the whole of Parliament seemed to just turn against her, and they just didn't support her. Not so much turned against her, they just didn't support her in anything she tried to do, it seemed. But it wasn't because they didn't like her, because she's a likeable person. She's nice, and I think she's highly respected within the other politicians. But they all had a game. It was just a big game, and I wonder if she was just playing her part and she knew what the game was, trying to fool the public. And I don't think the public are fooled anymore. I think it's just the public don't care. We're just too lazy. We can't be bothered to get all excited about it all, because you got to learn from what came before. And we haven't really had that many really good politicians in this country. Not big ones. There's been lots of good politicians on the backbenches that have created and done lots of things for their constituency. Can't believe I'm talking about politics. What the hell am I talking about? But the bigwigs, the ones, the ones that are the face of the government. It's all I sometimes wonder, they just actors. They get auditions. Like, you're going to be the dippy one. You're going to be the intelligent one who goes, yes, yes. You're going to be that one. We need one that's going to be funny, but very kind of eccentric, a bit dippy, but he can be Prime Minister. But he's like, we don't want anyone that can actually put a whole sentence together. I could do that because I could be Prime Minister. It's weird. It's like, I've never met anyone that talked like that. I mean, he does, but I wonder if he really does talk like that, or it's just an act. Just putting on an act. He's an actor. I just think some of them are actors. I realise that sounds like maybe I need to change my medication, but it does feel like that sometimes, because they've got these such unusual personalities, and then when they leave politics, nowadays they seem to go on to host TV shows, write books, and just do all kinds of reality shows. Some of them, Come Dancing, Strictly Come Dancing. Is Strictly Come Dancing on in America? I mean, does America have its own version of it, or do they show because I can't imagine they'd show the British version, because America wouldn't probably know who the stars were, or probably wouldn't, because a lot of them are like British politicians and maybe British sports people. That was a whistle, wasn't it? British sports people, maybe pop stars, people that America might not know. Because I've seen the American versions of Dancing on Ice and stuff, and I don't even know a lot of the stars now. I don't know not all of the British ones either, but there's people that are big stars in America that I've never heard of, maybe on television, and I just don't know who they are. And same with Canada and France. I'm not going to list every single country. I think I'd quite like to move to America though. But I realise, I'm not going to mention, never going to talk about politics. It's just, I don't know when politics became such a emotive thing. Because it's not really that way here. It is. It used to be during Thatcher. The only time I remember politics in this country, like a politician really being disliked, was Margaret Thatcher. Like really, on a level of half the countries, there was a very big divide between those that liked her and those that really didn't. And because she messed up a lot of things for this country, and it was all about, because with the Conservatives, and they'll even say it when they do their budget. Is it the budget? When they say this budget is for hard-working families. Now, straight away, they're missing out. They're discounting millions of people that are maybe unable to work due to disability, physical, mental disability. Students, people that aren't working because they're students. People that aren't working because they're retired. So millions of people. So they're saying, we don't care about you because you're now a pensioner. So we're not interested in helping you. Don't want to help people that are unemployed. Don't want to help people that are got mental health issues that can't work, or physical disabilities that can't work. That's what I got from that. Maybe I read too much into it. But we're here to help hard-working families. Hard-working families. There's different ways of working hard, isn't there? I mean, I do this. This isn't work, really. But it's... Yeah, I guess so. I'm not really a good example, am I? Hard-working families. But I thought it was about helping everybody. Isn't it? Isn't that what the government is for? To help everybody. To be there to support everybody. Everybody. I don't know, maybe I've got it wrong. I haven't. But maybe I have, but I haven't. But Thatcher, Margaret Thatcher, in my lifetime, I think she's the only one. Okay, Tony Blair, probably more afterwards because of the warmongering. He's sort of classed as the warmongerer, and the following America into war and being America's lapdog. That's kind of what he's been classed as, Tony Blair. At the time, like in the late 90s, so let's say, when did he get in? Was it 90? Was it 95? I think it was 95. No, 96. 97. No, it was 97, wasn't it? So 1997, when Tony Blair became the Prime Minister, he was probably, at the time, almost the most popular Prime Minister, apart from Churchill, that's ever been. At that time, he was absolutely... It was like a new country was starting. It was like there was such a positive energy surrounded him and New Labour and all this stuff. And then in 2002, roughly, so how many years is that? 97, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 4 to 5 years later, he started invading, or he started military action with, well, it wasn't just America, lots of different countries, wasn't it? And that's when the country kind of divided, because he was no longer the golden boy, and there was a lot of people whose brains were still working that realised that it's not a good idea to start, blowing up civilians and stuff. But then it's almost like an impossible situation, I think, he was put in. So but he still got re-elected. So it's almost like it was afterwards that people really started having a go at him. But when he first got in, Tony Blair, I would say, during my lifetime that I remember, I don't remember before Thatcher, but I remember everyone after Thatcher. So Thatcher and everyone after, I was kind of very aware of who was who and stuff. But out of all of them, she was the one that's, I'd say, probably out of all the prime ministers there has been in this country, Margaret Thatcher is probably the most disliked. I might be wrong, but as far as just the way people have been about her, and she did a lot of weird things. She really didn't seem to like working class people, like the lower level of people. She didn't seem to like people outside of the south of the, didn't seem to have a lot of respect for the northern part of the country. The way she sort of treated and closed down stuff with the mines and all that. I don't know that much about that. I remember it, but she had a big part in trying to pretty much. She wanted to get rid of the what are they called? The unions. That's it. She wanted to get rid of the unions but for a reason. See, I didn't realise that in the 70s, the unions were always going on strike. It was like, there was 3-day working week at one point, because of just all the unions and all these different things. But I'll give you, if you want to get an idea, it's a kind of a mocking of it. There was a film called Carry On at Your Convenience. Okay, it's a carry-on film. Carry on at your convenience. If you YouTube that, put it and just say Carry On at Your Convenience, and just put the word strike, on strike, something like that, and you'll see it, them basically doing it. So it's set inside this factory where they make toilets, and what was it? They did. You could just see like any little thing that they didn't like, any tiny little grievance, and they'd go on strike, and they'd all leave the building And it would be impossible for an employer to actually get anything done, because the people were always on strike. So the employees had more power than the employer. When before that, the employer had all the power and the employee had no power. It's before the unions. So again, there needs to be like a midway. You can't give all the power to the employees, but then you can't give all the power to the employer. Although they kind of need to have if they're paying, whoever's paying the person to work, does kind of get the right to tell the person what they want them to do. But they also need to show respect, which is why liberals like me come in. Do-gooders. Everyone hates do-gooders, but if it wasn't for do-gooders, man, the world would be different. There'd be no NHS, there'd be no hospitals, there'd be no anything. There'd be nothing good. Do-gooders make the good stuff. They're the people that help. Otherwise that stuff would never be, because otherwise you've got those that don't care and do nothing, and those that work, do really want to get stuff done, but it'll be just for themselves probably. So, you've got the in-between. The do-gooders, the liberals, the in-betweeners. I'm an in-betweener. Yeah, man. I'm an in-betweener. Oh, baby. I don't know what that was. So yeah. I'm a liberal. I'm a do-gooder. Isn't it amazing they say do-gooders and actually have hostility when you say it? How can you have hostility when you saw someone a do-gooder? Oh, you're so nice, you are. When you go in a restaurant, how was the dinner, sir? Oh, dinner was delicious. So delicious. It's like, no, it doesn't make sense. Just, you do-gooder. You mean nice? Yeah, nice person. Ugh. Okay. You weirdo. Anyway, that's me. That's me done for the day. Just talking rubbish again, like normal. I love Thatcher. Yeah. Thatcher. What did she say? This woman is not for turning. And then she turned round. So she kind of, didn't really stick to what she said. Anyway, that's enough contradictions for one day. Thank you for listening. Remember to be kind to yourself, because you deserve to be happy. Do something nice for yourself today. Doesn't matter what it is, doesn't have to cost money. Just do something nice. Something that you enjoy. Give yourself at least an hour today and every day where you're doing something that you enjoy doing. You deserve at least an hour, don't you? Every day? If not more. So take care, lots of love, and I shall speak to you tomorrow. Bye.